They don't dream. They don't dream of things like we did when we were young. What they want is money. I start second quarter of high school with my sophomores, asking them to go big in their heads. Like, dream your biggest dream. Is your dream to be signed with the NFL, win America's Got Talent, get a full ride scholarship for a university, become the first brain surgeon at the age of 18, win NASCAR? And I do this for a specific project, but whatever. Over the years, these answers have given me a lot of insight as to what's going on with a generation. 10 years ago, everybody talked about wanting to go to college or wanting to get into an internship, and that was really a focus. 5 years ago, it felt like so many people wanted to be doctors and nurses. I think that maybe had something to do with the pandemic, but the last 5 years have been awfully rough on our young people. They are growing up now during a time where the youngest of Gen Z, who are just getting in through high school, are the ones who are really seeing a world that does not have a lot of hope in it. And it's showing in their answers. Instead of dreaming of accomplishing things, instead they have things like, I won $2 billion. I won the lottery. I just won a new truck. I won the lottery. I won the lottery for $2.5 billion. I got $100 million. I won $1 million on Family Feud. There's a handful of kids in there who said things like, I wanted to cure cancer, or I got drafted into a certain team. But the majority of them were all about getting money quickly. We've lost the ability for our young people to dream of doing something and being successful at something in this world. And instead, what they see is exactly what the adults of the world have offered them, which is the only way you can survive is to have a lot of money. Forget hope, forget dreams, just get cash. And I am so disappointed, not in these kids, but in us as an older society who have built a world that's all kids can dream about. So one, adults, this is my call to you to do better. Offer hopes and dreams. And Gen Z, I need you to know there is still hope in the world, and that chasing what you really love is worthwhile. And drinking your water is a good idea too.
Right. So, first of all, ignore how I look right now. Yeah, so I can look good, but it is what 1:40 something in the morning. I should be asleep. I couldn't sleep. So, okay. Put simply, madam, let me also say this was not attacking this lady. What I said is not to, because she ultimately is right. But I mean, she is the ideal, I suppose, is the ideal, but in all honesty, as far as practice versus theory, what the hell? I need to get new glasses. This thing is off. What what the hell am I going to tell them? What am I going to tell them? What am I as a middle millennial, I guess? In my advanced youth, geriatric youth. What am I going to tell Gen Z? Or young Gen Z, old Gen Alpha, whatever. Okay. What am I going to tell them? Here it is. Like my generation is Gen Y, millennials. Like, look at the problems we're having right now. Okay. So when you, madam, said older generations, I'm wondering how old you are. Are you like young Gen X? And because us millennials, and you might think that I was projecting with what I wrote in my comments. Anybody who sees this video, right? And who knows, maybe I very well might have been. But my thing is, us millennials, we literally did that. We did the hopes and dreams. Like we did the hopes and dreams, okay? And look at where that got us, by and large. Saddled with debt. Okay, so first of all, student loans more than anything, probably, followed by maybe credit cards and all that, because the vast majority of us are doing that to live, not to go balling out of control. We literally did exactly what you, madam, which I guess you're probably closer to my age, right? We did that. And look at where that got us as a whole. Like what? The first generation to expect to not own a house? Like they're trying to get us to fucking have kids. Like here's my case. Back last year, 8/1 of last year, 10-year marriage, like 27 days short of 10 exact years to the day of marriage gone. Why? Because my now ex-wife, she wanted at least a kid, if not kids, and for various reasons, I didn't want any. Plus, she's 2 years older than me. Okay? Here it is now, one of the two friends with benefits, or I guess just girls that I'm fucking. Actually, both of them have not contacted me in like days, so I think it's over now. One of them has been over like 3 weeks. But the other one, the most recent one, we sat down and talked, and like, hey, she's 4 years younger than me. She's like, hey, I want, I ultimately, a very interesting thing. I ultimately want kids, and I'm considering that, much like you, I was in like a very long relationship. Like I was in a 10-year marriage. She was in a 10-year just boyfriend and girlfriend, like looking to get married, and then it just fell apart. So she was ready to go. Okay, and she's still ready to go. And despite us having our fun for the last couple of weeks, we sat down and talked, and like, she's like, hey, I ultimately want to move towards, having, my person, and starting a family and stuff. And again, hey, I left the marriage because of that, or well, we mutually split because of that. I'm not about to go get some other girl pregnant right now, less than a few months after that. So, and that's the thing, like, in my case, what I'm doing to help out is I'm not having any kids right now. Not only because I can't afford them right now, and then also I want to have full control of what programming goes into their mind and just a whole bunch of other stuff. But the other thing is, look at what you're talking about, madam. Gen Beta. The oldest Gen, what is today? The 6th or 7th? 6, I think it is. Yeah, because my student loans came out yesterday, the 5th, or at least it was scheduled to on auto pay, and this is the day after the 6th. The oldest Gen Beta is literally only a year and 6 days old. Okay? When Gen Beta gets to high school and is getting to be 18 and all that, how do you think things are going to be? Hmm? How do you think things are going to be? And I'm supposed to bring some kid or kids plural into that? Negative. And that's despite the fact that I'm actually more than likely making the money. I am making the money that I could have. It would be doable. Put it to you like that. It would be doable. It would be doable. From a financial standpoint, it would be doable. But that assumes that all of what I'm actually doing now, like getting out of debt, that stops immediately. Now that I would have a wife and kid or kids plural dealing with, and all of what that entails as far as expenses, food, clothing, shelter, and all that. So getting out of debt immediately stops. But you see what it is, like us millennials as a whole, we're too busy trying to survive. Forget thriving, just trying to survive. We don't have time to be making the world a better place for the next generations, plural, after us. Look, we're trying to survive here, okay? We're not the ones that fucked the world up like this. We really aren't. Sorry. Now, I'm not about to sit here and say which generation that was, or generations that was, but it wasn't us. And if it wasn't us, I don't see how it could be any generation after us. Okay, so we did the hopes and dreams thing, madam, and what now? 9/11. I mean, .com was probably more. That probably more affected Gen X more than anything, and maybe boomers as well. But 9/11. Actually, 9/11. We'll skip 9/11. 2008 crash. There we go. Although 9/11 kind of really did but 2008 crash. Okay. Back when us millennials were 18, 19, 20. When I think I was 2005, I was 18. 21, literally 21, more or less. All right. And then, okay, and we're finally brushing ourselves off, and then COVID comes and just knocks everything out. and now, whatever the hell all this is, post 2020. But yeah, we're supposed to make the world better for Gen Z, young Gen Z. Nah, that's not gonna be us. That's not gonna be us. It seems to me like Gen Z, based off what you have said, madam, is more or less on the right path. In that, we sat here and watched as our, depending on when they had them, parents, I guess us millennials, especially the older millennials, could be having Gen Z kids around that age now, I guess. Or at the very least, older brother, older sister, whatever. Okay, depending on how far your parents had them. We're sitting here watching them get atomized, right? Pulled apart electron by electron. That's not fit to be us. Like, nah, that's not fit to be us. It sounds to me, based on what you're telling, what you said in that short, that sounds to me like that's what Gen Z is saying. Good for them. Stay away from the student loans. Stay away from all consumer debt. But in today's day and age, in today's AI-based day and age, in today's online day and age, yeah, stay away from the student loans. Stay away from that shit. There, that's me helping to make the world a better place for the next generation by telling them, stay the fuck away from that shit. Okay. Despite the fact that I literally have 2 women that I honestly could probably call right now and be like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's start a family. Let's pool together and whatever. And I can almost guarantee you that they would be up for it, considering. You know, considering that, I'm also not having kids. I'm not helping to make the problem worse by churning out yet another generation, although there'd probably still be Gen Beta if they were born out, yeah. Another generation to go into be cannon fodder for society, especially with the way shit's looking right now. Okay. So, no. But anyway, my comment on her post, on her short, was, I mean, I was actually serious about it, but I was serious, but it was to be, it wasn't directed at her, put it to you like that. Like it wasn't, you know, it wasn't directed at her in a negative way. It's just more the whole sentiment I think Gen Z/Gen Alpha should have if they're smart, and it appears that they looks like they are smart. It's like, yo, I'm partially kidding about that OnlyFans thing though, and only partially because I got another video coming up about that, or that involves that. That's coming up. So, but as far as women go, hey, there's always OnlyFans. There's apparently for women, if all else fails, there's sex. So for the dudes though, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but my little 2 cents, my 2 cents, 1 cent, 2 cent. Stay away from them student loans, Gen Z. Stay away from them student loans. Stay away from that credit card debt. All kinds of debt. Auto loan debt. Obviously, I don't think I need to tell you all about houses, because... and that's it. I'm going to go try to get some sleep. I have a physical, my annual physical, tomorrow or later today. And God knows how many veils of blood they're going to draw doing blood work and shit. So, then I got to get my ass into work and get ready for this election. But later.